Hi guys, this is Starcraft and the show must finally end, the party must finish and the curtain must close. It's gonna be the final match in today's encounters between these very known epic Starcraft players. This is part of ASL 17 round of 24 Group D, and Lee Jaedong the Tyrant, you know, the grunt, has been eliminated. It's gonna be up to this baby who's now a man to take out Shuttle, a man who's kind of like a baby because he's, you know, I don't know, he's just eating a lot of chips and ice cream and not sleeping and not exercising well. He's just living a very unhealthy lifestyle, but all will change when he wins his next ASL. He's promised me that he's gonna be able to change for the better, maybe get a girlfriend or something like that. But before that, we need to take out this kid, this baby here. This is gonna be the map retro at no, this is not. What map is it? So sorry, yeah, it is retro. Yeah, 4-player map that you see in the bottom left of the screen. Very nice map to have this kind of finale to happen on. And Shuttle is going to be located at the bottom left of the screen. In the green color, his opponent is going to be located top right. And Shuttle looks like he might be going for a 12 Nexus. Very scary moments. Very scary moments. And all the more for the final match. I mean, he's risking it all for, you know, just a couple of more extra mineral patches. I mean, he's just so greedy. We shall see what TY aka Baby has prepared in store for Shuttle here. It's just gonna be barracks on the high ground, but he's not gonna be scouting. He goes and scout. Ladies and gentlemen, this man, this baby who's now a man, is gonna be going for scouting. His opponent will see him first. Will he see his opponent first? Looks like he's gonna be scouting in the wrong direction. Both the players are gonna be scouting in the wrong direction, but it's gonna be Shuttle who faces the lesser of the evil between the two players here, because scouting in the wrong direction for him is insignificant, but scouting in the wrong direction for TY is very significant. Shuttle is going to meet this SCV. Oh my god, he's going to try to fool his enemy into thinking that he's located on the other side of the map here. And now he's going to try to chase it. And this is going to force TY to send out a second SCV, because the SCV will not be able to go scout. Oh my freaking god. Yeah, we're going to be seeing a second SCV coming out. What is this, factory? Okay, it looks like he's going to be transitioning right into factories here, where Shuttle is stopping his enemy from going out with his SCV. And he, you know, and TY is a little bit confused for a second there, but he was thinking, why are you located on that left side? Well, I mean, what is this angle that you're coming at me with? And he even had to go and check just to be completely sure. But now he cannot be sure anymore, and we're going to be seeing first Marine not going for scouting, just more Marine. Maybe TY senses blood. I mean, when you go for this irregular scouting pattern, there's one possibility that you're going to be going for 12 Nexus. I mean, that's one way why you be scouting so weirdly like this. And he's going to be making a lot of Marine. He might pull the trigger when he feels like there's, you know, enough you know, gain to be materialized here. Yeah, or he might be just going for bunker, I don't know, but usually it's gonna be just something else. Anyways, we're gonna be having a second SV coming out to replace the scout here. Vulture first, and because of this, Shuttle is allowed to not make a second gateway. He's not allowed. He doesn't have to make a battery. He doesn't have to make a fortune, a cannon, and command center goes down. And oh my god, we're gonna be following up with Vulture though. But the Vulture will reuse itself because the probe is coming out. The probe is coming out, but not before the Marine. Okay, we're gonna be seeing this SV trying to get on the high ground, but not able to get on the high ground. But we need to see the Dragoon now. This probe's gonna hide on this high ground and try to slow down the progression of the Vulture, but the Vulture is here. We need to see when the Dragoon's gonna be coming out. Shuttle's got a few seconds to react here. He's got 2 Zelle. The probes are gonna be running and hiding on the high ground, and he's, oh my god, one probe might lose his life. No, very good for Shuttle to save both of his probes, and now he's gonna be just fine for the time being. He's waiting for the probe to come down the ramp. He's waiting because the Dragoon is here, because he wants to resume mining as soon as possible. And he's gonna need to resume mining. The game is gonna go on. Some Marines are in the area, but they're not gonna be able to do any kind of damage. And Shuttle has won a nice psychological victory in the start here. He's gonna be going for a call with the range upgrade for the Dragoons. More Vultures coming out, so we're not seeing a tank. We're seeing just Vultures. Vultures would be nice. He might be trying to go for a run by. When he gets about 3 Vultures with speed, that's when things start to get really dangerous for Shuttle. We shall see. Dragoon is a little bit too far forward, but not able to inflict any kind of shots on the second Vultures here. So we need to be very careful. What are these SV doing? Just gonna be transferring the SV, transferring the mineral. That's fine. A very good blockade. 2 pylon, I think, is enough for Jim Ziyang now to hold the area. He needs to go for observers. I think at some point looks like we're gonna be seeing army coming up. So army is meaning that we're gonna be seeing just fast upgrades to the Terran army. It's not gonna be for Goliath in this early stage of the game. Although Goliaths might be produced later just to stop the threat of Shuttle and Reavers, but we shall see. Looks like Shuttle is already coming out to try to stop this Vulture from, preventing his enemy, preventing his third base here, and all of the mines get destroyed. The Vulture gets out. We're gonna see 2 more Vultures coming in, but I think this blockade is more than good enough, man. I mean, Shuttle's got everything completely covered. He needs to safely transfer his probes though, just to be completely sure. He's clearing probe by like bare hand. He's Chuck Norris. He's using his own his bare knuckles to clear the mines, man. It's so good. And we're gonna be seeing the fast expansion coming up. But can TY, aka Baby, stop it? He's got 1 tank. This is fine, but without I don't know, just 1 tank and 2 Vultures to Marine would not be able to stop anything. Because Shuttle's got 5-6 Dragoons. Anyways, 1 Dragoon's gonna get focused upon. Shuttle is pulling back a little bit too slow here. He's gonna try to hide in the back, and he loses 1 Dragoon, which is not good. But he's getting ready to take his expansion on the high ground. He's gonna put the pylon first. He's also thinking of counter dropping, but there's no drop coming from TY. And knowing that psychology, TY just pushed forward with a tank and takes out a couple of Dragoons because he knows his enemies would have need to kind of separate his forces into various corners to try to do the checklist, right? To do the laundry list. Okay, do you have drops? Do you have fast Vulture with speed? Are you gonna try to deny my third base? Those kind of questions were going inside Shuttle's brain. And that was very small and very timely opportunity of window opportunity for TY to come out here to inflict a little bit of damage here. But anyways, the game is gonna kind of stabilize a little bit more. Shuttle is ahead by about 15 supply. This early stage ahead by 15 supply is really nice as Protoss. Anyways, the Vulture that is damaged goes up on the high ground first. That's a mistake. You need to always send the unit who is a little bit weaker on the high ground first, not your weakest unit. Anyways, observers are out. So Shuttle's gonna be going for a lot of forces. Like I told you in the previous game, Shuttle is not a guy who plays flimsily. He's very solid. He likes to take things very slowly, protect his bases, protect his probes, protects his Reavers, High Templars, and go for mid game. Huge push, ridiculous push with with a lot of Dragoons, Zealot, High Templars, Storms, and possibly Reavers, and maybe Arbiters as well if we see it in this game. But PvT nowadays we've seen a resurgence of Arbiters. Let's see if Shuttle's gonna be going for Arbiters. In this spawning position, I think Arbiters, I guess just plain Shuttle and Reavers won't work as well, because you're not gonna have a very early access into your enemy's main base. So going for the long game with Arbiters might work well, because in the long game your enemy would have need to expand towards the top right corner of the map, or maybe possibly towards the 3 o'clock position. So those bases are a little bit more vulnerable to Arbiter drop or Arbiter recall later. Anyways, Academy coming up, so we're gonna be seeing scanners. And TY is gonna be looking forward for the +1 upgrade. Is he gonna move on with the +1 upgrade? That's a bit more ambitious, I think. He's got 6 tanks. That's sizable. This op sees exactly how many tanks are there, so he's gonna be able to make the right unit amount and combination to actually counter that. He's having 8 gateways, which is nice. No scanners mean this op can stay here for a long time. We're gonna be having finally the army movement from TY, and yeah, Shuttle doesn't have to make cannons because he didn't see the presence of the starport. There's also no hidden starport anywhere on this map. We have a scan there that revealed it's gonna be Templar Archive built, and a lot of gateways being produced by Shuttle here. Shuttle possibly have practiced, positioning his his gateways in very optimal locations, so you can just spam click them when the time comes. So that's very nice. Anyways, looks like both the players are just not really moving out. Shuttle, we need to think about securing the 4th base, and TY, aka Baby, is gonna try to prevent that. He's put a lot of mines in the top left corner of the map. Waiting for the probe to go there at some point. Anyways, we're going to be having a small move out here. Shuttle sees it with his observer. No scan by Baby to try to remove that observer. This Vulture is a bit too slow to react, losing 2 Vultures and damage a couple more. We're going to be having 6 tanks, 2 more, 3 more, 9 tanks at the moment. The observer is shrouding them, so it's going to be very difficult for these tanks to remain hidden. Shuttle holds his high ground with a single Dragoon only. We are seeing what's happening here. Looks like Vulture tried to go for a run by here, but this area is completely walling, so he's not going to be able to penetrate. Dragoon is going to try to hide on this area. Shuttle's not responding. He loses Dragoon. Very smart Marine. That was one of the few times where a single Marine was able to do something useful in PvT. Usually the Marines are just trash units. Anyways, Zelle out with lag. He gets to the high ground. This might be a little bit ambitious for Shuttle. He need to move forward. The Shuttle's coming through and dropping. What is it, Reaver? No, just a couple of Zelle, which is nice still. Dragoon need to like attack, move, and not just attack like this. He needs to attack, move, and then attack and then move more. I think the number of tanks are thinning out, but also the number of Dragoons are thinning out. The last of the tank is falling, and on the high ground, Zealots need to come down south to actually, mingle with the tanks here and spread out the Dragoons. This is a nice attack, clearing out all of the tanks. And TY's hope of establishing a high ground position here has kind of ended here, but the game is not yet over because he can still expand towards the other side of the map. And looks like Shuttle is going to try to come down south. He's going to need to move forward. Tanks are getting mixed up. Zealots are actually very, very beefy here. Dragoons moving forward. One of the might destroy some of the Dragoons. Need to be very, very careful. The number of Zealots are thinning out. Shuttle is kind of getting too ambitious, I feel. Still 3 tanks in the back. And Shuttle gets pushed back. At least he's got this high ground advantage to defend against, but he's got no third base. He's making only Zealot and Dragoons and Shuttle. I think at some point he's gonna be able to make high temperatures. I don't know when that point is exactly. Mine is gonna explode on everything here, and Shuttle's not paying attention. At least his Mine Drag might be doing something. Just more Dragoons coming through. Need to do the moving shot. What is this? I mean, he's not trading effectively at all with this kind of strategy. Of course he's trying to trade, man. Of course he's not trading effectively, but he's forcing the Terran to bleed as well. So that might be the strategy he's going for, and we're gonna be having some Dragoons not able to really penetrate it, and this base goes to TY. Oh my god, TY, after a very disadvantaged start, he's able to get back in the game here. He's still behind by about 10 supply, but not much, and Shuttle doesn't have a new base. Shuttle has been stuck on one base for a long time. Not one base, but 3 bases for a long time. He needs to start to produce more Shuttle because that is his, his forte. He's switching back into Reavers. I don't really approve of that move. He needs to stick with just Zealot and High Templars, I think. Anyways, at least, yeah, this base is gonna get destroyed, and some mines are gonna stop these Dragoons from moving forward. More mines on the high ground. Shuttle need to go a little bit slower, man. Need to go a little bit slower. He's cleared the mine miraculously. Not so sure how he's able to do that, but these vultures from Baby is gonna try to intercept the probe. I think the probe is possibly here already. I'm not so sure. These SVs are transferred a little bit prematurely. A Nexus gets taken because during this time he knows, Shuttle knows that the enemy cannot possibly even get to that area. He's so busy trying to fortify this area that he won't have enough forces to go to that area. So he takes the base on the on the down ramp, because that base is a little bit harder to defend. But when you have map control like this, you don't need to defend, and you know that the risk of his enemy moving out is kind of few and far in between here. But that is with the condition that he doesn't squander his entire army in the next attack like this. I mean, he's gonna try to do some nice drop, but he needs to make sure he has some reserve forces in the back, especially Dragoons. He can waste as many Zealot and High Templars as he wants, but he needs to keep his main Dragoon force alive. We're gonna be seeing this drop happening now. There's not enough turrets. There's some mines, but that's not gonna be enough here. And what Shuttle goes through, there's no Shuttle with speed. Maybe the robotic support bay is mainly to upgrade Shuttle with speed. It's not actually to make Reavers. He arrives now. Zealot's gonna land first, and High Templar casts a storm. He's gonna wait to cast a storm on a couple of SCVs, which isn't so bad. The Zealot's gonna try to attack the SCV over there, and more storms gonna get deployed here on some tanks where he casts a nice storm, just damaging some of the SCV on the gas. But that's really nice damage, and slowing down the economy of his enemy and allowing him time to get new bases set up here. We're seeing a dropship, a lot of vulture activities. How many Dragoons are in this area to actually fend off this attack? I don't know. That needs to be very carefully calculated. I think by Shuttle here, because this is a good goddamn 12 vultures. He needs to move his entire force to defend against this. He knows it's going to be very problematic here. The vultures start to come in. He needs to have all of his forces here, tanks in position. This drop is freaking ridiculous, man. How can TY even think of this? He's going to try to block it with pylon and buy time. That's a nice idea, but the dropship's going to pick up the tanks and go on the high ground. The force is being created, which is great, but where's the rest of his army from Shuttle? He's gonna be able to shell from the high ground here, baby. The Shuttle arrives now. These tanks cannot siege. Very timely defense here from Shuttle. He's forced the enemy to waste so much forces. One more drop in the main, but we have already cannons in here, so this drop will not be able to do that much damage. At least let's take out a single Dragoons, and that's it. And then that tank is gonna siege and buy some more time, and Shuttle need to move the probes, man. We have a nice scan to see the situation. Anyways, the rest of the Dragoons arrive in place here. And more tank in the back. That tank is going to die possibly. The flag looks like the tank's going to try to target only the cannon. And that drop from TY was cute. It was very cute, but not successful. But this one tank in the back, though, is going to do a lot of damage. You need to scan to see that base, and he does a scan, and he's going to be able to take out the cannon. The probe, anyways, we have a Zelle comes through, and yeah, at least the probe's gonna be running for their lives. Shuttle ahead by about 30 supply. He's on 5 bases. His enemy is gonna be on just 3 bases for the timing. Zelle is gonna get attacked by vultures with +1 weapons and +1 armor. Dragoons coming through to kind of intercept, and the game is gonna reset. But TYK baby need to think about the 4th base with Terran. He's got very healthy economy. He's got a lot of factories, but he needs to think about the next step. He needs to think about the future. He needs to have a growth mindset and never give up, and always think about how to improve and go for the future. But look at this, man. When you see 5 shuttles flying around like this, just type GG, because it's 6 shuttles, man. 6 shuttles. This is arbiters recalling from the sky without actually having arbiters. I mean, he's gonna give TY a taste of his own medicine, but a little bit stronger, 5 times stronger, 6 times stronger. They come in right now, dropping all over every goddamn thing. No tanks. And where are the High Templars? The High Templar casts a storm on the tank, which is great. One more storm on that other tank would be nice. He's storming the SCV, which isn't so bad. And then he's to have more energy in the back, and that's a lot of SCV getting wasted supply-wise after that attack. TY is 30. More, okay, more drop here. No, we don't see any drops on this side of the map, these shadows. Just waiting for, time here. And the Goliath's gonna be able to take care of them. So anyways, that was cute, but was it worth it? Was the damage worth it? Because TY is only behind by about 10 supply. He needs to remake more shadows and just fly in more, I think, a little bit later. But we shall see the battle for supremacy, for dominancy, for ultimacy is not yet ending. And why do we have 2 cannons here? That's just like a freaking waste of money. Both the players are going to be, amassing a lot of armies and getting maxed out soon. We have probes on the low ground as well as dragoons. This probe's going to get destroyed. But yeah, Shadow won't mind. He's going to be able to come out. I would say that Shadow needs to take the top left corner instead of the 12 o'clock base. I mean, it's a little bit ambitious, but I think he can do it. He can just make sure that he can keep his enemy boxed in and use a lot of high tempers to kind of storm incoming units. Anyways, looks like TY is playing very defensively. He's turling hard. He might just move out a little bit here to establish a little bit of presence on this 4 o'clock base, and those two cannons in the back are going to be able to finally do some damage. Because TY just doesn't want to stop with the drop here. Probes need to go to a new base, and don't even just stay home anymore. I mean, that base got so few minerals, so just go for new base. This last dragoon dies, and TY is just all over the place. He's, I mean, not that bad. He's doing quite well. Shuttle's going to be losing a lot of dragoons though, and he backs up at the last minute. EMP on the High Templar. The High Templar's got 3 storms ready. You need to be traveling with Shuttle. He casts a nice noise storm, and he might cast more, and this dropship is going to do some damage here in this area of the map, and just TY being all over the maps with his tanks. Oh my god. I mean, the single tank has been damaged from before, just doing so much damage, and one more High Templar gets sniped. You need to pick them up and put them inside Shuttle, and maybe he's already picked them and put them inside Shuttle. I don't know. Maybe one Shuttle's got 4 High Templars, the other Shuttle's got some Zelle out. But anyways, we're going to be seeing the commands that are getting floated out. TY needs to kind of bust out now. Shuttle's got so many dragoons. Destroy this goddamn tank that's been just a sore, a thorn in the neck, a sore in the eye here. Storming all over the incoming tanks, and he's going to back up and try to hold this bridge. He just needs to hold this bridge. And now with the threat of the drops at the top left of the map cleared, Shuttle, we need to reinforce this area like ASAP. He needs to leave this area now and move all of his dragoons there. TY is behind by about 20 supply, but he's going to move his entire tank line here. Shuttle's got very few armies remaining, and TY is going to take a 4th base, and the game's going to go on from there. Shuttle doesn't have a 6th base. He's going to be able to storm now, do some nice storm, and attacking so many forces on the bridge, and the tank count is thinned out considerably, but the number of dragoons also thinned out very much. And the game is not yet over. The commands that we need to float. Look at how far the 4th base is for the Terran. The 4th base is so far away. It's so far away. And the Shuttle can reinforce it from the other side of the map as well. This observer sees every goddamn thing is going to get taken out by the Goliaths. Shuttle, 185 supply. Baby, 146. 90-minute mark of the game, and we're going to be seeing more movements from Shuttle. He's going to try to come in here. Goliaths need to kind of stay back and defend. Some nice drop. High Templar casting some storms. That first storm eats up everything. 2 tanks instantly, and some of the Goliaths in the back as well. More storm attacking. The tanks on the high ground are not in the equation. They're completely out of the equation, completely irrelevant. This is like blue ocean strategy, right? Make your competition irrelevant. That's what it is. So a lot of these tanks are very powerful, very much upgraded, but they're not in the battle, so they're irrelevant. And that's what you need to kind of think about in terms of strategy. But anyways, that battle is finally over, and TY is still behind by about 40 supply, but he's going to be able to land his command center. Shuttle will be able to, transfer probes to his new base as well, and the game's going to go on from there. And the more the game goes on, I feel the more that the tip of the balance, the scale, the weight of the scale is going to go towards Baby here. He might move out with a small group of vultures to try to harass, but he might just stay home because the threat of the Protoss attack is also very, very large. Anyways, looks like this resupply route in the middle here between the second and the fourth base for Terran is a little bit thin. So Shuttle can decide to go out there. Shuttle need to take the top right corner of the map at some point, because if Terran takes it, it's gonna be impossible for him to kind of come back. You need to like go there and take it now and have at least 7 bases against 4. That's gonna be a little bit better because his main is already mined out. We're gonna be having another major attack here, but Shuttle need to take a base before he attacks, or he needs to transition into carriers or something else, because the game's gonna get progressively harder as the minutes go through here. And we're seeing probes getting transferred to the other base, which is nice. Shuttle's bases are like getting kind of slow and thin here. One Zelle out. Hightailor casting some storms. Very nice on the clumped up tanks, and maybe more storms. No Tom, these Zealots need to get in with the tank here and do some damage. Splash damage for the win. FTW here, and the last of the tanks on the high ground is destroyed. Just one tank on the low ground, and Shuttle busts this base with style. Where's the rest of TY's unit? Look at the smirk on Shuttle's face. He said, I think I kind of win, but I need to also just like play a little bit better and just kind of be a little bit patient. And tanks on the low ground will be no match for Dragoons and Zelle on the high ground. Shuttle is going to be 70 supply more than his enemy. He knows he's won. Look at the smile. He said, oh yeah, come to Papa. Come to, Jum, right? And he's going to be to take out the command center, destroy the command center with the Archon. The command center is very, very close to dying. And more forces coming from this side of the map. And Shuttle, I thought he was kind of close to losing there, because he was able to he was not able to stop his enemies from expanding. But now he's got everything under control. We only have 3 tanks remaining. GG's gonna be coming up. So you like this game, feel free to buy me a coffee. And to support Shuttle, you can also just, I don't know, just go to his stream or something like that. And see you soon. Bye bye.